right, more politics. The GOP presidential race just gets more interesting every single day. Let's start with the GOP frontrunner, catching heat from all sides. Listen to this exchange between Newt Gingrich and CNN's Wolf Blitzer.
I've been surprised, and I don't know if you have been, some of the Republican congressmen who worked with you in the 90s, Contract with America, the Republican Revolution, and you know these guys like Joe Scarborough, for example, or Peter King of New York, Tom Coburn. They've suggested, use words like erratic, undisciplined, a train wreck. And they know you well, these guys. Why are they saying that?
Look, I think if you are a very aggressive leader and you drive to get things done, I mean, we drove to get welfare reform. We drove to balance the budget for 4 straight years. I think in a legislative body, there's sort of a go-along to get-along collegial attitude. I wasn't there in a collegial job. I was there as the leader, and my job was to drive through change on a scale that Washington wasn't comfortable with. And, you know, if you're a genuine outsider forcing change, you're going to leave some bruised feelings. And I don't apologize for that. I think I've probably learned some more. I think I'll probably be more effective this time. But you look back, you know, we switched the fiscal condition of the United States by $5 trillion in a 4-year period.
Roland Martin, you're on. Will Cain, they are both here. So listen, basically he's saying, I was a change agent. I'm a change agent, and that's why, you know, we didn't get along many times. What do you think of his answer? First, Roland?
I'm still cracking up how Newt continues to portray himself as an outsider. I mean, he is the ultimate insider. And also, it's revisionist history. His actions also turn the House over to the Democrats after the debacle when he went through the battle with President Bill Clinton. I think it's important to listen to King and Scarborough because, look, temperament matters when you're in the Oval Office. That is a critical component of a leader, and that's really one of the things they were talking about.
All right, Will, what do you make of Newt's answer?
I would take the flaw even deeper than temperament. I would take the flaw down to the level of humility. I think that's Newt Gingrich's fundamental flaw, and humility is an integral part of conservatism, knowing your limits, knowing what you cannot accomplish. The lack of humility in Newt Gingrich's personality is reflected in his substantive positions. I mean, whether or not we're talking about policies where he embraces tax credits and subsidies, which suggest you know how to optimize capitalism and the government to its perfect level, or in his own character issues. The lack of humility and his ability to get along with people like Scarborough and Coburn. Coburn, one of the most respected members of either body of Congress. This shows that Newt Gingrich's problem, I think at its core level, is a lack of humility.
Okay, then, Will, I've got to ask you, as a conservative, you're saying all of this, why is he the front runner?
Style. That's the reason. Substantively, I've said this many times, he is almost indistinguishable from Mitt Romney, meaning if you criticize Mitt Romney, if you find Mitt Romney incredibly distasteful because he's flipped on issues, how do you accept Newt Gingrich? If you liked Herman Cain because you saw him as an outsider, how do you now like Newt Gingrich when he's an insider? It's all about being bombastic and combative and taking it passionately to President Obama, and Gingrich can do that.
Real quickly, Roland, because I want to go to something else. Go ahead.
And Don, we have to understand we are in a period of anger. If you look at President Barack Obama's poll numbers, when he began to have a more populist tone, you saw his numbers increase. You look at Occupy Wall Street. The reason the Tea Party has grown is because people are so angry what's happening. You just reported on John Corzine. They can't find all of this money. People are angry what's happening. And so when Newt attacks the media, when he's going after President Obama, he's appealing to Tea Party
to the
folks.
people who are angry out there. Right. He's doing what they can't do in public.
And Mitt Romney is too calm for them.
Or on a bigger platform. Okay, let's move on now and talk about Rick Perry. Here's a new campaign ad.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Christian. But you don't need to be in the pew every Sunday to know that there's something wrong in this country when gays can serve openly in the military, but our kids can't openly celebrate Christmas or pray in school.
Okay, so there's a whole lot about that ad, but starting with, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Christian. Most people in America aren't ashamed to admit they're a Christian because most people in America are Christians. So what do you make about this Perry's holiday statement on the war on Christmas and the war on Christianity? Go ahead, Roland, first.
Look, I am a Christian. My wife is a pastor. This is a desperation ad. This is Governor Rick Perry, who is trying to appeal to social conservatives in Iowa to somehow raise his profile because he is buried in the poll numbers. Bottom line is he has been inept when it comes to debate. So he's trying to push those buttons. So by talking about Christmas, talking about gays in the military, but it's not working when the most critical issue out there is the economy. This is a Hail Mary that nobody is catching.
Go ahead, Will.
I really wish there was something I could disagree with Roland about here. The only thing I might question is whether or not it works. I mean, you know, Bill O'Reilly's one of the most successful segments is this war on Christmas stuff. It resonates. That doesn't mean it should. Here's the more important thing. At the base level, what's wrong with Rick Perry's ad is that it appeals to populism. It's just pushing buttons, as Roland said. But I want to say this. He's not alone. The president gave a 2-hour speech, it seemed like, on Tuesday that was chock full of pandering and populism and telling people that the greatest economic system on the face of the earth has failed them.
Yeah, thank you. The war on Christmas, anyway, or Christianity, interesting. We need a whole segment to talk about that, or maybe a whole day. Thank you, guys.
Actually, Don, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't, because it's a trumped up issue that plays into the drama. So talking about it is really a waste of time because there's no war on Christmas. Celebrate Christmas, have a grand time. If you don't want to, don't. So let Bill O'Reilly have it.
It's worth a discussion. It's worth a discussion to take away the myths and all that. What's true and what's not true. So anyway, I think it is. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Will. Have a great day, guys.